Welcome, my name is Lisa and you are watching One Lisa Show, and today is my day to talk about the So Frugal 23 challenge. Behind me is my best bud, Miss Moneypenny. If you haven't seen my channel before, welcome and thanks for checking it out. I know we're at the end, the final countdown for So Frugal 23. And if you haven't heard about it, there is still time. So Frugal 23 is being hosted by Rue Ann from the Yorkshire So Girl and Sam from Frugalissima. They have been very kind to do this for the third year now in a row. It is a lot of fun because the whole purpose is to try to reduce waste in your home. So you're going to use something that you already have just sitting around to save money. We're using a free pattern, and wherever you get your free pattern, I'm giving you just a couple ideas today. Possibly win some prizes. There's a lot of great sponsors. And you're going to post your makes on Instagram and use the hashtag SoFrugal23 on Instagram and tag Ruanne and tag Sam from Frugalissima as well, because that helps them find your entry. You want to do that on March 31st. Don't worry about if it's you live in the US like me or you live in the UK. When it's March 31st for you, post your make. It's absolutely fine. So makes need to be posted tomorrow at some point. There's lots of prizes. There's tons of prizes. I'm going to put on the screen some of our awesome sponsors. And there's been so many vloggers. Some vloggers, there have been 1 or 2 videos every day in March. It's so much fun to see what everybody else is posting. The vlogger yesterday was the Sewing Warehouse. So if you haven't checked out the Sewing Warehouse's video, please do so. And there's me today, and tomorrow is March 31st, even though it's reveal day. I mean, a t-shirt you can whip out in a good hour, maybe 2. So there's always time. But tomorrow's vlogger is one of my favorites, so do it, Emma. If you don't follow her on Instagram or watched her vlog before, please check her out. She is fabulous, and I love her sense of humor, and I love her just general attitude. She's one of my favorites to watch. We are going to reveal our makes on March 31st. My video today is more about the creative side of it. If you don't have a lot of fabric stash, or if you've got scraps that are just sitting there and they're not enough for one make on its own, guess what? You probably can mix a couple of them together and get something really cool, unique, and wonderful at the same time. So let's begin. A few days ago, I put out a video called my part 1 of my So Frugal 23 WIP for work in progress. And what I'm doing is I am taking my scraps of my knit fabrics. So if they're a jersey knit and they're kind of the same weight, I'm taking them, I'm squaring them off, or just making sure they're nice and even and the similar size widths. I'm sticking with, they're all matching the same kind of grain line. Because they're jersey, they're all going to have that little V on the front and the rib. So I'm checking for the same kind of grain and just sewing them together. Just sewing them together so I get a nice piece of fabric, as you see here. And I have tried it both ways. I've done it with my serger, and I've done it with just a zigzag on my sewing machine. And quite frankly, I give it a press after, and I'm noticing the one on the sewing machine without the serger is actually laying really nice. So you can see the back end. And I didn't match up my threads because obviously they're all different bits here, but they are laying really nice and flat, especially after a nice steamy press. So I have this really cool piece of fabric that could be big enough for a pattern piece. And the free patterns I'm thinking is simply just a t-shirt. So I'm going to give you 3 patterns for jersey t-shirts. And one of them has an awesome hack to turn it into a dress. Let's start with that one. It is the Deer and Doe Plantain shirt. It is a wonderful pattern. It has 2 different size brackets, so it comes across many different sizes. On the Deer and Doe blog, they do show how to hack that plantain t-shirt into a dress, where to cut it for the bodice, and then how to make a gathered skirt. So it's perfect for spring and summer. Here's what I love about all of these t-shirt patterns I'm going to share with you. They're easily available, a PDF version that you can print from home. They don't take up too many pattern pieces. They are all independent pattern makers. They all have various sleeve lengths, and some of them have like pockets and so forth to make it unique. The Deer and Doe Plantain Tee is one of my favorites. I've made it many, many times. I enjoy it. It has a very flattering neckline. I find the neckline personally a little too low, so I do raise it about 1 inch or 1.5 inches. And it has short and long sleeves and 3/4 length. Another pattern, which I've also made that's free, is the Do It Better Yourself Club Anything But Basic Tee. This is a great pattern because it is available for children, for women, and for men. And the third t-shirt pattern that's also free, PDF, is Closet Core's website. You can go and they have a basic boxy tee. It also has an extended size range and is completely free and very classic t-shirt vibes, very boxy, and it has an optional chest pocket as well. Going through my stash, I found some scraps of some apparel fabrics, and 2 of them are a tencel twill that I got from Joann's. So they're lightweight, they're flowy, and they're not necessarily colors that, well, I guess they could go together, but they're not necessarily in even colors I wear. However, I have nice big pieces of these, but not big enough to make an item for myself. And then I found some extra, I think this is a challis from Minerva, and I have a nice scrap of this, but it's an odd shaped scrap, but I have a good size scrap. Not enough to make a whole blouse, but possibly enough for something else. And the pattern that I found that I wanted to share with you is on Peppermint Magazine's website, and it is called the Boxy Tee. So I'm going to insert a picture here. The Boxy Tee is really interesting because it might not have the largest size range. I agree with that. According to its measurements, I make the largest size in the bracket. I think I'm going to size down because as I did some research, a lot of people said it was a very loose-fitting shirt. But what's great about this shirt is it is perfect for color blocking or using your scraps. So my thoughts are I am going to use this as the bottom hemband because it is the lightest weight of the fabrics. And if I put it at the very top, I feel it might pull down. Even though these 2 are also lightweight, if I have enough of one piece or the other, I think the pink I have more of. So I'm going to make the body of the shirt pink, and I think I'm going to do the top portion this. So it shall be different, unique, and I'm okay with that. I guess my point is that it's one option you can do is just take your scraps and see what you can fit your pattern pieces on and go with it and let it be kind of mismatched. I was binging a show on Netflix called Ginny and Georgia, and I noticed that the teens in this show were wearing a lot of unique items of clothing, and maybe I haven't shopped for clothes because I've been making my own. I haven't really been in the stores looking to see what the fashions are, but I did notice a lot of patchwork, a lot of vintage inspired, a lot of bold colors, and I did see a lot of color blocking. So even though this show started in 2021 and the new season just came out a couple of months ago, and I'm not endorsing that show or raving about it by any means, but what I did notice was the teens were wearing a lot of things that were color blocked and patched, and it made me think this is a trend, and why not take advantage of it while you have scraps, if you have scraps. Some people keep their scraps to used for stuffed animals, to make a closet core poof for filling like a dog or a cat bed, stuff like that. And that's also wonderful use of your scraps, but if you have nice big pieces, you probably can color block them into something else. Those are my thoughts. Now, hopefully these 4 patterns help you, And 1 is for wovens, 3 is for jersey. I tend to use my jersey scraps until I have small pieces. I make knickers or underwear out of them, and I use them for anything I have until they're just too small, and this is what I plan to use with those. I hope you found this video useful today. I hope I gave you a couple ideas. Don't freak out. There's always time. There's always time. The first year Frugal Frocks, I was still sewing on reveal day. I got it done and I got it up, but I was still sewing. So I know there's many of you out there that have either been busy or hemming and hawing or didn't get finished yet. Well, don't fret. This is all for fun. Have a great day, and I look forward to seeing your makes on Instagram because I'm going to be checking out everybody's entries tomorrow. So Frugal 23. All right. Thanks. Bye-bye.